Shivoham 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 Shivoham
Shuklambaradaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Manojabam Marutadulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham Vatatmajam Vanarayudha Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhye.
Namaste. Welcome to Kaivalya Yoga Gurukulam for yet another session in Yogic Kriyas. Let's sit up tall and straight. We shall begin with the Omkara Kriyas. Along with every Om, let a lot of air escape through the mouth. Lean forward, empty the lungs as you chant the Om. Then you inhale and come up. We'll do this 3 times. You may want to swallow the saliva so it doesn't come in the way. Inhale when you're ready. Shift your awareness to the region of the stomach. Slowly pull the stomach muscles in. Slightly hold it there. Throughout the practice, apply the Lagu Bandha. This is called the Lagu Uddiyana Bandha. All breathing takes place in the chest. Inhale, exhale. This stays very inactive. Having applied the Bandha, let's chant another Om. Inhale. Let's go. Inhale. Come on. Mindful breathing. Bandha in place. Shift your awareness to the throat. Partially close the glottis. And begin to suck the air in through the throat. Push the air out through the throat. Listen to the sound of the breath. That is the Ujjayi breath. With the Bandha and the Ujjayi in place, let's chant the third Om. Inhale. Inhale, come on. Mindful inhalations. Receive the Vayu inside your body as you receive a VIP into your home. Reverentially, mindfully. And exhale mindfully and long, helping the Vayu carry all the toxins outside. Make sure the Bandha is in place. Kaka Shuddhi Kriya. Mouth spouted like a beak of a crow. A powerful exhalation through the mouth. We're going to continue that exhalation till you can exhale no more. And then you breathe in and come up. We'll do this 5 times. Sit up tall and straight. Inhale. When you're ready, let's go. Inhale, come up. Make sure whenever you bend down, don't let the stomach fall out. The Bandha will go in place. Inhale. When you're ready, let's begin. Inhale, come up. Exhale fully. The secret of health lies in your ability to empty the lungs. Inhale. When you're ready, let's go. Inhale. Two more to go. Remember to swallow the saliva before you inhale, so the spit does not come in the way of the Kriya. When you're ready, inhale. Let's go. Inhale. Bandha is always in place. One last one. Inhale. Let's go. Inhale, come up. Sit up tall and straight. Listen to your breath, observe the breath. Pay attention to the amount of air that goes in and comes out. The length of your breath. And your ability to maintain the bandha. Agnisara. Children of all ages, above 5 years generally, can easily, playfully begin to practice these kriyas. So if you have children around, call them and let's make it fun for everyone. All right. Agnisara, you're going to breathe out, hold the breath out, pull the stomach in, and then holding the breath out, you're going to flap the stomach in and out. And then breathe in. Agnisara, it awakens the digestive fire in your stomach that pushes the prana up. Whenever you're ready, inhale. Exhale through the nostril or through the mouth. Breathe out fully, hold the breath out, pull your stomach in and begin the kriya. Inhale. Bandha in place. Mindful breathing. When you're ready, inhale. Let's go. Sit up tall and straight. When you're ready, inhale. Exhale fully and begin. Feel the ease of breath in the region of the chest. The best way to understand this is like a hot air balloon. The fire inflates the balloon and it's ready to lift up. In other words, the body feels light, the energy begins to move up. It's a beautiful combination, and that's why the Agnisara has to be done. Once you activate the prana with the first two kriyas, then you follow the Agnisara. Now that the prana is fully activated, let's distribute that prana throughout the body by doing the Markata Kriyas. We do 5 of them. Every time you exhale, remember to pull the stomach in, especially when you go down. Don't let the stomach fall loose. The bandha really raises the effectiveness of these exercises. Let's begin. Inhale. Exhale. Left up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Right side down. Exhale. Inhale. With the bandha in place. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Twist. Inhale. Exhale. Twist. Pull the stomach in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lengthen your spine and twist. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. exhale, inhale, 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 exhale. Wonderful. One more. Inhale, exhale, 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 inhale, exhale. With the bandha in place, Ujjayi breath in place, mindful breathing. Observe the energy in the body. Listen, feel. Pranam Asana. Sit in Rajarasana, hands into the Brahma Mudra, palms, thumbs in, fingers over your thumbs. Make it into a fist. Place the fist on either side of your belly button. Inhale. The bandha is in place already, but you're going to push it further in. Inhale. Exhale. Gently collapse on top of your thighs. Rest your forehead on the floor. If your butt starts coming up, then use a block. Rest the forehead on the block. Collapse. Inhale fully. Use the back of your lungs, the sides of your lungs. Don't let your stomach move at all. Push the stomach in. Long breaths in and out. Breathe from the back of your lungs, between the shoulder blades. Inhale, come up. Release the Kriyas. Maintain the bandha. If you're comfortable in this pose, you can continue into Bhastrika from here. Otherwise, let's sit back to where we were. You can, if you're again comfortable, you can form the lotus that gives a solid base. Bandha in place. Twenty, 10, 20. Listen to the Ujjayi breath. When you're ready, let's go for 20. Let's begin. Lengthen your spine, sit up tall and straight. Breathe in and out. Allow your lungs to, within the rib cage, to expand as much as you can. Keep the bandha in place. See, you don't need the stomach to move. Let me see if I can show it to you. You see, if I have a belt, it's a little short, but nevertheless, let me show you. If I have a belt and I really keep it tight, really tight in here, right? And I breathe, I should be able to take full deep breaths with this fully tight because I'm activating the chest. The lungs within the chest, front, sides, back of the lungs, everything is used, not the stomach. So when you inhale, you can actually pull in the stomach more. So this is how you got to maintain the bandhas when you do all these kriyas. All right, 10 rounds. Mindful breathing in and out. Incidentally, I just showed you this for demonstration purpose. Don't tie a tight belt in. That's not the way to learn. Apply the bandha. Be mindful. Use the mind and the focus. For those of you who are doing asanas, even if you don't come to our classes, when you do asanas, if you hold this bandha, you will have no back problems at all because this is like wearing a tight belt around your waist. It supports the lower back. All right. 20. When you're ready, let's go. Breathe in and out. Oftentimes when the prana is in the right, it flows in the right manner. You can just go on doing this, but I'm not encouraging you to do beyond the limit. At this point, we are learning, so let us stick to where it is. We will see how it goes. We still have many days for practice. Instantly, at the end of these kriyas, you begin to feel very calm, very relaxed, a very nice feeling comes in. And that itself is a great sign that you're doing correctly. There should be no headaches and no excess thirst, no excess dizziness, excess. Initially, if you're new to this, you just joined in a week ago or 2-3 days ago, it's okay to feel a little lightheaded, a little dizzy. But all this should go in a matter of 3 to 4 weeks max. Wonderful. Let's now do the Rama Nama Pranayama. Left hand ready for the Kriya, Kamala Kriya. Inhale, you're going to open. Exhale, you close into a fist, like so. Right? This corresponds to the lungs. This connects. Your fingers and your lungs, your fingers and your breath are directly connected. If you want to control your breath, pay attention to your fingers. That's why when you're nervous, your fingers shake. Your breath is unsteady. So this is a great exercise for us to practice, to teach our children. When you inhale, expand. Exhale. Once subconsciously you bring this into it becomes your second nature, automatically you'll be able to control the breath by using fingers. That's when you learn mudras, it becomes more effective. So first thing in Kamala Kriya is this prepares you for making mudras more effective. Mudras are all hand movements. Okay? All right. The right hand forms this mudra. You're going to close the left with these two fingers, the right with the thumb. So close the right nostril with the thumb. We're going to inhale through the left first. Left in, right out. Right in, left out. Remember, you breathe in the same way you came out. So left in, right out, and then right in, left out. Allow the name of Ram to gently settle in your consciousness. In that dimension, we all connect in that one name, and that one name provides us all the sustenance, guidance, knowledge, vitality, and strength that we need in our lives. But your conscious mind focuses on the exercise, and keep it that way. Let's get ready. And while our spirits become one in the dimension of Ram, let us all practice the Rama Nama Pranayama.
Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Sita Ram, Hare Hare, Sai Ram, Hare Hare, Sai Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Namaste. Welcome to Kaivalya Yoga Gurukulam. I'm sorry if the bhajan was a mix-up. I did something with my keyboards. I couldn't hear my playing, so I don't know how it sounded. But nevertheless, it was, I guess, meant to be. It's an adventure, and every day is not the same. Today we are in a strange chapter, today and tomorrow. Strange, I say, because in this journey of Sundarakand, we are coming face to face with the most pure, the most divine, the most powerful energy within us, the energy of the universe itself, in the seed form, in the form of Sita, a mother waiting to give birth to herself in us, to reveal herself in us. So she is there. But I think in the last 3 or 4 chapters, Valmiki is giving us an idea of what is this divine energy within us. What does it mean? Is it some strange, inhuman kind of energy that we can just use some techniques and awaken? Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be that way. Not only in Valmiki Sundarakand, but the entire Sanatana Dharma. And this is a dharma, a spiritual treatise, if you will, a set of scriptures. There's no one particular book that you can relate to for this entire dharma, this Vedic period that gave birth to this kind of knowledge and wisdom. Almost every one of them do not talk about this energy as some distant, disconnected, some kind of a scientific or mathematical energy that lies, that somehow can be awakened with certain techniques and practices. It could be perceived in some places like that, but that's a wrong perception. Even though I'm an ardent practitioner of Hatha Yoga, I consider myself a student and a practitioner for many lifetimes, and in this lifetime as well. I still don't believe that there are techniques, just only techniques, that can awaken this Divine Mother within. There is a beautiful path of communication, a beautiful path of emotion and feeling. And in that, we call that the path of bhakti, devotion, which is very unique to Sanatana Dharma, the path of devotion and bhakti, where you are allowed to build a personal relationship with your chosen deity, and in this case, Mother Sita. And therefore, in that personal relationship, you allow communications to happen in the language you know, in the words you know, allow emotions to flow, and then you build that rapport. Then door begins to open beautifully. It is not a foreign experience, what I'm saying to the hundreds of you that are watching, and to the millions and billions of people all around the world who practice it in this manner. Everyone will understand that when you pray real hard, when you go deep within, when the yearning becomes intense, there is always a sign from the divine. There is always an encouraging pat on the back, if you will, a sign of divine grace, a divine touch that once again motivates us and puts us back on the path. So in this chapter, in today's chapter, and tomorrow's especially, Valmiki is painting a very different picture of Sita. So let us see what that is. Not different from what you have expected all these days, but this is a very short chapter. So once again, I'm going to just give you a gist of what happens in this Sita, in this chapter. This is entirely about the state of Mother Sita. Because right now, we have held Hanuman's hand, or Hanuman has held our hand, and he's led us into Lanka. We searched for her everywhere, in the senses, in Ravana's palace, in Ahankara, Makara, in this sense, in that sense, and all of that Lanka's glitter and gold, she wasn't there. She was in this, or she is rather, in this Ashokavana, this most beautiful grove within. But she's surrounded by these ogresses. And so as Hanuman sits on the tree and watches and begins to meditate on this mother, contemplate on this mother, even before jumping in and saying, okay, I found her, no time, let's convey the message and run away. It's not like that. That's a wisdom we have to learn, right? So when he's watching, she's revealing herself to him because of her interactions with Ravana, interactions with the ogresses that surround her, the she-demons around her. Hanuman is beginning to understand the nature of Mother Sita. How do we approach Mother Sita? He's learning. So in this chapter, what is the state of Mother Sita that Valmiki talks about? He says she's weak, she is sobbing non-stop, she's trembling. It could be understood as trembling with fear because of all these people constantly yelling at her and shouting at her, just like any frail young woman would be in the midst of monsters. And she keeps going towards the tree that seems to be her only refuge, the trunk of the tree. She seems to be almost getting cornered there. She's going towards that. In the last chapter, there was a mention. This chapter again, he mentions she goes towards, holds a branch or two and cries out to Rama and Lakshmana. So the scenario is very pathetic in that sense. I don't know if that's the right word. Where we almost take pity on this woman who's so weak. Oh, poor thing, we say in our hearts and minds. But let's hold on to that thought. And look at her, she's surrounded by ogresses. She cannot find any solace anywhere. She's unconsolable in her weeping and in her tears. And she also begins to think that she must have been of low merit. She deserves this. She will, a sense of guilt comes over her, as Valmiki talks about, and she says, perhaps I'm an orphan. Where is my husband? Where is Rama? Where is Lakshmana? Where are their mothers? She feels the pang. She wants that. She wants them back in her life. So this is how Valmiki is portraying Mother Sita. And one would think, wait a minute, what is this? I mean, if our innermost core divine nature itself is like this, then what about us? And we might quickly jump to the conclusion, it's okay for you and me to feel bad and upset and all of that. If Mother Sita herself can do that, then why not me? It doesn't work that way. There is a lesson here we are learning, right? She is portraying this to show us how it is in our Lanka. What is happening inside us? Why is it when you ask, and I ask this question, why is it when I pray I don't hear an answer sometimes? Why is it when I yearn for God, He doesn't reveal Himself to me? Why is this not happening? Why the divine experiences sometimes, or rather to get the first-hand experience takes so long? Why doesn't it be my first-hand experience? Why don't knowing that I have a hot dial, a number that I can directly dial, but yet why is there no answer on the other end? Perhaps this will give us an idea. What is going on with Mother Sita? After all, she is Parashakti herself. Why is she in such a powerless state? Can't she just burn the whole place down and redeem herself? She can. In the story, yes, she can. But there is a purpose why she's not doing it. There's a purpose why Valmiki is teaching us this powerful lesson, that the only way to awaken your inner divinity is for you to invoke the highest principle of Atmic wisdom, right? So that has to come. But here, Mother Sita is in, this is a real, I think, a real portrayal of our divinity. Our divinity, our divine nature is in peril today, generally speaking, and there must be exceptions in all of us. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. Because of our lifestyle and our choices we make and so on, we put her in this. It doesn't mean because she seems to be weak, she's actually weak. It is like this. I take this analogy of the firewood. There are embers and ashes. So you see the fire in the wood, or in a coal, charcoal or wood, you see the fire, and then slowly the glowing embers are still there, but then the ashes slowly begin to cover the embers. And that's why even in a yagna, what do? We blow the ash away so that the fire once again comes into its full glory. So there is all the power of the fire in the firewood. The firewood is not wasted. The firewood is not weak. It has, the potential is there, but the ashes begin to cover, and so the fire slowly appears to go dim. If the ashes become too much, it's possible that the fire can get put off. So here, Sita is alive in the story. That means there are embers, glowing embers, but it seems to get covered by these ashes. That's why in one of the chapters previously, very beautifully, he said, she is like this beautiful fire covered by the smoke that you can't see the fire. There's so much of smoke, you can't see that beautiful fire. So it's like that, a flame, a flame is covered by smoke. So this is the analogy. Now, what does that mean? What does this ashes mean? What are the ashes in us that cover our divinity? It is our desires. Our desires that come from a place of wanting, which we studied this a few classes ago. When we desire something because we don't have it, and we focus on the not having part of it, that means that desire is coming from a place of lack. And because it's coming from a place of lack, the lack of it is what is going to be settled in our chitta. What does that mean? Now let us say, I want more money, I want more money, I want more money. So Sundar has got this, this is not enough, I need more money. Why? I need to buy a home, I need to buy a better car, I need to do this, I need more money, I need more money. So I am coming from a place of lack, that this is not enough for me, I need more. So I work hard, I do something and I get more money. But then when that happens, shouldn't I be happy? saying, I got more money, now let me be happy. No. Why am I not happy? What is happening? Most likely, I would say, oh, this is great. I want more money. Look at this. This is working. I want more money. I want more money. I want to buy now a yacht. I want to buy a horse. I want to do this. I want to do that. Whatever it is. I want more money. And more money comes in because I work hard. Maybe I work hard. Maybe I get lucky. I don't know. I somehow make more money. But am I happy? By then what happens is I have got into a habit. That is what I am saying, the lack. Because I've cultivated this desire out of a lack, I am nurturing the lack of it. So the more the money comes, I feel there is more lacking. And therefore I search only for more. And the more it comes, I feel more is there somehow for me. And that lack becomes more real. And the actual money that is at my disposal becomes almost nullified. In other words, I'm not enjoying what I have. I think I might. You might see a rich man thinking he's enjoying. Maybe he is or she is. If they're content, yes. But if there is a constant, let's make more, let's make more, let's make more, then that let's make more becomes a habit. And therefore, when does that end? Never. And so that becomes a disease in the mind. Similarly, so what happens? That lack and wanting more is feeding into the Ravana energy, is feeding into the Makara energy, the I and mine energy. And therefore, there is just no place for Sita to even stand up and speak. She's being covered by these demons of I, me and mine. I want this, I want more, I want more, I want more. Same thing. This is one side. The other side is, let's say, worry. We are worried about something. After a while, I have actually spoken to people. They get worried because there is nothing to worry. Oh, everything is going fine. I'm worried something is going to go wrong. Oh, you Swami, please, what is this? What? And so I asked them, so you have created a habit to worry. So you're worried about children, you're worried about this, you're worried about that. And then it becomes a habit to worry. So even when everybody is happy and everything is going fairly smooth in your life, you are looking for something to worry about because your mind is only trained to worry. And therefore, it comes from a place of lack. And therefore, you are only going to nurture worry. And so where is worry like that? So there is discontentment like that. And so each of these demons, we feed into them and they become stronger and stronger and stronger. And the pure energy that is the source of wisdom, that is the source of all treasures, that is the source of all happiness, is never tapped into, and never once have we, and I'm saying this generally, of course, right? Please take everything I say with a pinch of salt. But we rarely tell ourselves, I am content, I am the God, I am the source, everything lies within me, I don't need anything else. Very rarely do we feel it. I mean, saying is not a mechanical saying thing. You don't have to say it 108 times or 3 times or 1,008 times. It's not about the saying part. It was a feeling part. Do you feel completely content and self-fulfilled? Why don't we feel that? Because we have been constantly nurturing these demonesses, these ogresses around Sita. So Sita has never given a chance to even say something beautiful. So she's trembling, she's weak. She's afraid. She goes into this hiding, closer to a tree. That is what is happening with our divinity. So it doesn't mean, I'm not trying to throw a guilt spin upon us and saying you are causing pain to Mother Sita or I'm causing pain to Mother Sita. That's a very superfluous way of looking at it. It's not about guilt at all. It is what it is. It is every time I choose discontentment, every time I choose to worry, every time I choose a desire because it comes from a place of lack. See, that desire from a place of lack, you need to contemplate. It's not easy to understand. When I'm very content and out of contentment I want to do better, that desire is very different. Because then I'm focusing on the excellence of the product. A very simple way to analyze this and understand this, I've said this earlier also, let's just clarify it here. A very simple way, let us say I want to buy a home. I see a home every time I drive to work. I see a home. I say, oh, wow, that's a beautiful home. I wish it was mine. Or I wish I could live in such a home. Fair desire, right? What's wrong with the desire? Nothing. Now, observe your emotional pattern that follows that desire. Immediately follows that desire, or along with that desire, it triggers a certain emotional energy inside you. What does that mean? So when I look at that home and I say, wow, such a beautiful home, my God, if only I had that home, then observe the emotion. Does that emotion become a pang? That pang would mean that even though I'm thinking I want that home, what my that negative pang, that energy says, oh, when am I going to get it? How am I going to get it? This is so far, way beyond me. How am I ever going to get it? Oh, I only wish I had that home. Oh, those people are so lucky. Does that make me happy or sad? If it's making me sad, it is coming, that desire for wanting that home is coming from a place of, I don't have such a thing. When am I going to get a thing? I can't afford such a thing. So that I can't afford, I don't have, is what settles and becomes our reality. And with God's grace, somehow you get that home, because you've created that lack so strongly. After 5 years you get that very home. You will say, where did this owner go? Oh, she went across that road to such a bigger home. Oh my God, I wish I had bought that home rather than this home. It'll never end. Why? Because you have created that. That habitual pattern has to get triggered from the place of lack. Okay. So on the other hand, if I'm driving to work, I see that home and I say, wow, such a beautiful home. Those people are so lucky. If I was in that home, wow, and my whole fiber and my being fills with joy. And of course, I don't do this while driving. And you go into this world of me and my home, and that home manifests in my mind's eye. It fills me with joy just thinking that I'm living in that home. There is no lack there. Where am I now? I'm in a little apartment now and this and that. None of that thought come. Now I have transported myself into that home. That is an emotional positive energy that begins to manifest that to you. And when that manifests, even half of that home manifests, you will be jumping in joy because of the manifestation. Because why? You've created the joy of living in a bigger home in your mind. That is the difference between a desire from a place of lack. That is why the word desire is a misnomer in English. Because we say desires are bad, controlled desires. When Baba would say controlled desires, he would use a word not desire. He would use the word korikalu. Korikalu means wanting. Control your wants. Want comes from a place of lack. Wanting. So when we do this wanting business in our lives, I want to sleep late, I want to eat more, I want to enjoy life, I want this, I want that. Then Sita, who is the actual source of all of this, is being ignored. Rather than saying, I have all of this within me, let me go in and awaken her. We say, I want this, and I lean towards my senses for those fulfillment. Then I am the one who's feeding these ogresses. I become the Ravana. These ogresses serve me, I serve them, and that's it. Sita is nowhere in the picture. So what happens to that Sita energy? She becomes weak, timid. So there is a very nice example, a humorous one, and I'll stop with this today. It might be a short satsang. Baba talks about this hermit analogy. And he would laugh so much when he would say this, either in a discourse or in small groups, especially with us boys. So he would say, because he would emphasize that, let me put this in the right context. So when we talk about this, that Sita energy and our devotion is what awakens Sita. We might say, but I have children. Should I give up my children and focus on divinity? Should I give up my job and focus on divinity? Should I give up what I'm doing and see, I don't like my work at all. It is very distracting to me. We use all those excuses as if they are the ones that is causing me not to awaken my divinity. And there's a problem with that kind of feeling. When we were with Baba, he made us study hard. What? I did my PhD in banking and finance, living with him, practicing my yoga. You see, imagine how much how much of quantum I would have faced thinking, what am I doing with banking and finance, when in deep in my meditations I get such fantastic experiences. And at a drop of a hat, I wanted to give up my PhD. I didn't want to do PhD. I kept writing to Swami, let me work in the hostel canteen. Let me work in the canteen in the ashram. Let me do something. I just don't want all this. And he would get very angry with me. But then I began to understand. And today, if we are doing all of this with technology and everything, I am grateful to that education that has prepared me for this. That's besides the point. The point is, he would say, don't blame studies and this and that as if they are the obstacles is preventing you. So here he gives an example in that context that a hermit decides that all of this samsara and the family is coming in the way of his practice, and work is coming in the way of his practice and spirituality. So he gives up everything and he goes off to the mountains. Baba says he goes off to the mountains. He gives up all his belongings, possessions. To his family, he says, I'm going away, and he is renounced. Okay? And he goes off to the mountains. Now seated in the mountain, just wearing a loincloth, he is meditating. And then he washes the loincloth and lets it dry while he sleeps in the night, and he wakes up next morning, and it goes on for a few days, and he finds that this loincloth is somehow getting chewed little by the little rats that come now and then. And he says, oh God, this is becoming a pain. I mean, all I have is one loincloth that I want to wear, and these rats are chewing it, so I don't know what to do. He keeps thinking. Now that becomes his main problem. How am I going to protect this loincloth? And so what he does, he says, you know what, tomorrow I'll go down to the village. Somewhere there will be a stray cat. I'll bring that cat and keep him here. That cat will take care of these rat problem. So I can, live happily. After all, I have no desires, right? So he goes to the village. He looks around. He finds a stray cat. He brings it over to his cave up in the hills, and he starts doing his penance. He's happy. A couple of weeks go by. The cat is happy, chasing the rats, and his loincloth seems to be in one piece. So he's happy. Then he finds as a cat is mewing a lot and crying, and he feels, oh gosh, she is having rats, but then she can't eat only rats. She must be needing something. She must be needing some kind of milk or something. So what do I do for that? Then he thinks hard. Then he starts going to the village every day, gets some milk for the cat, and perhaps a little bit for himself as well. And then this goes on for a week. And then he says, every day I have to go down, come up. It takes hours for me to go down and come up just for milk for myself and the cat. Why don't I get a cow somewhere, and in a clearing next to the cave, I can start keeping a cow. So this sannyasi who's renounced, by this time Baba will be laughing so much as he tells the story. So, Baba becomes like a 5-year-old. His eyes will be watering. He'll be using his handkerchief and wiping his eyes. Anyway, so he says, the sannyasi who renounced everything now has got a cat, he's got a cow, and then Swami, of course, ends the story nicely. He says, in order to take care of that cow and milk the cow, everything, he ends up marrying a woman. He says, let me marry somebody who will take care of that so I can focus in meditation. And thus he sets up an entirely different family there. So what is the point in this humorous anecdote that Baba mentions? Is just by giving up your work and thinking that is somehow an obstacle for your spirituality, you're not going to achieve anything, because your inherent desires, inherent that feeling that comes from lack is what is going to manifest in some other form. So this is my obstacle. I'm going to remove that obstacle to practice my sadhana. If that is work, for example, I want to give up my job. Can I do that? No. That's a big point. That's a big question. If you have commitments and duties in your life, you got to do that. And convert that duty into worship. Convert work into worship. This is how one has to understand this. Then whatever work you're doing will come back to serve you. It will definitely come back to serve you. There is no doubt about it. All those talents that you're acquiring, they will come back, so you can use that in a bigger selfless work. It will come back to serve you. That is how God plans this. But if we run away because of this and that, then without inner cleansing and awakening, then it doesn't work. So when a cup is dirty, you empty the cup. Because there's dirty water, you empty the cup. The dirt in the cup doesn't go away. So what do? You open the tap and you allow a lot of good water to go in. The more good goes in, automatically all these other things will go away. It will go away. So in other words, with all these other commitments, with your children, with your husband, with your spouse, with your wife, with your team workers, with your job at hand and all of that, even though they appear to be contradicting to what you want to do, if you learn to invoke that energy, find time for your own sadhana, and it will be a struggle, but when you prove that I am using, and this is what I want, while I'm grateful for all of this, I am still practicing my sadhana, then this good water that you're doing will slowly replace and reorchestrate your life for you in such a way that you will have enough time for spirituality and practice and everything. You have to allow that to come up. You can't force a rose to bloom. It has to bloom by itself. All you have to do is water, provide sunlight. Water, provide sunlight. How much ever you complain is not going to happen. So let us understand this, because as we say, okay, Sita is not awakened, Sita is weak, you might say, okay, if I want to awaken my Sita, let me give up everything and concentrate. But that giving up everything externally is not going to change who you are. If you already have desires, if you are harboring thoughts about he versus she versus it versus that, and all of that. So there is a great deal of spiritual practice that we have to first incorporate in our own lives. Baba would say, unless you transform, nothing else really works. Somebody sent me a thought for the day today, very beautifully. And there Baba says, this bhajan, this worship and this puja and meditation, all these are just physical exercises. If your heart is not filled with devotion and it doesn't begin to transform who you are. And that transformation can happen when you actually begin to implement those teachings in your everyday life, facing circumstances as they come to you, not running away from circumstances, not running away from our duties. Then we are learning nothing. If I would run to an ashram, sit in the ashram and say, I got peace, then the very first storm that hits my life, the peace will be blown away, because I've never tested my peace in the worldly sea of life. Right? And so that is when you truly learn. The wisdom truly comes out when we test the learning. It's very humbling. It brings your own weaknesses up there and you say, oh gosh, I never knew I had all this internally. Why? Because of that person brought it out from me. That incident brought that out from me. So when I begin to realize this, then it gives me more motivation to practice, and constant testing the waters makes me more stronger spiritually. So let us once again hold Hanuman's hand, invoke this divine energy, and continue this darshan of this facet of Shakti, who displays weakness, who is apparently shrouded by ashes. If we need to awaken her, re-energize her, what is it that we need to do? We need a Hanuman to give her hope. And so we'll come to that part of the story. We still have 5 chapters to go through in this story. So let's be patient. Patiently understand this energy. Meditate on this energy deeply within. Because this is the condition of Sita within us. Let us invoke this divine energy of Hanuman, who shows us the way, because he is the one who relieved Sita of all her worries, brought a smile on her face, once again revived that energy, both not only in Sita, but in Rama as well. Om Bhuh Purusham Shri Bajranga Rupaya Shri Samba Sadashivam Avahayami. Om Bhuvah Purusham Shri Maruti Rupaya Shri Samba Sadashivam Avahayami. Om Subah Purusham Shri Chiranjeevi Rupaya Shri Samba Sadashivam Avahayami. Om Bhurbhuvassuvaha Purusham Shri Ramaduta Hanuman Rupaya Shri Samba Sadashivam Avahayami. Om Atah tasam vadantinam parusham darunam bahu rakshasinam asaumyanam ruroda janakatmaja eva mukta tu vaidehi rakshasibhirmanasvini uvacha paramatrasta Bashpagdagadaya giram Namanushi rakshasasya bharya bhavitumarhati Kamam khadatamam sarva nakarishyami vo vachaha Sarakshasi madhyagata Sita surasutopama Na sharmalebhe dukharta Ravanena chatarjita Vepate smadhikam Sita Vishanti vangamatmanah Vane yutha paribhrashta Mrigi kokair ivardita Satvashokasya vipulam Shakam alambya pushpitam Chintayamasa shokena bhartaram bhagnamanasam Sasnapayanti vipulau stanau netrajalasravaihi Chintayanti na shokasya tadantam adhigacchati Savepamana patita Pravate kadali yatha Rakshasinam bhayatrasta Vivarnavadana bhavat Tasya sa dirga vipula Vepantya sitaya tada Dadrushe kampini veni Vyaliva parisarpati Sa nishvasanti dukharta Shokopahata chetanam Arta vyasrjadashruni Maithili vilalapacha Harameti cha dukharta Apunarlakshmaneti cha Ashvashru mama kausalye Asumitreti bhamini Lokapravadha satyoyam Panditai samudaghritaha Akale durlabho mrityu Striya va purushasya va Yadahamevam krurabhi Rakshasibhir iharditam Jivamihina ramena muhurtamapi dukhitam Eshalpa punya kripanam vinashishyam yanathavat समुद्रमध्ये नौपूर्णा वायुवेगैरिवाहता भर्तारं तम् अपश्यन्ति राक्षसी वशमागता सीदामि खलु शोकेन कुलं तोयहतं यथा तं पद्मदलपत्राक्षं सिंहविक्रान्तगामिनं धन्या पश्यन्ति मे नाथं कृतघ्नं प्रियवादिनम् सर्वथा तेन हीनाय रामेण विदितात्मना तीक्ष्णं विषमिवास्वाद्य दुर्लभं मम जीवितम् कीदृशं तु महापापं मया जन्मान्तरे कृतं यनेदं प्राप्यते दुःखं मया घोरं सुदारुणम् जीवितं त्यक्तुमिच्छामि शोकेन महता व्रता राक्षसीभिश्च रक्षन्त्या रामो नासाध्यते मया धिगस्तु खलु मानुष्यं धिगस्तु परवश्यताम् न शक्यं यत्परित्यक्तुम् आत्मच्छन्देन जीवितम् इत्यार्षे श्रीमद् रामायणे वाल्मीकीय आदिकाव्ये सुन्दरकाण्डे 25 सर्गः।
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी बरनो रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फल चारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरा पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहे हरहु कलेश विकार। राम 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 श्री राम 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 श्री राम 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 राम। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरण विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। राम 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 श्री राम 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 श्री राम 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 श्री राम 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 श्री राम 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 राम। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा, भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हर्षि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम्हरो जस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाँ ते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाँ ते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा, राम मिलाए राजपद दीन्हा। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र योजन पर भानु, लियो ताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माही, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। नासै रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होए सिद्धिसा की गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महाडेरा। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। जय श्री राम। समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु, समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु, समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु। May all the beings in all the worlds be happy. जय बोलो पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सतगुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये, हर हर महादेव। ओम शांति शांति शांति।